It's now time to talk the NBA Eastern Conference. Let's talk some basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven. I got Ryan with me. It is time to talk the NBA Eastern Conference. We are going to preview, give out bets. We got it all for you. Western Conference video is already out, so go check that out. The NBA starts October 24th. Whoo, baby, I know you guys are getting excited about it. We got a lot of NBA fans on this channel, so in that Western Conference video, we talked some rule changes, so be sure to check that out, like player participation, that in-season tourney, all that kind of stuff. But before we dive into anything, let you know what we're talking about. Hit that like button. Help this channel grow. This is one of our favorite videos because we just love talking sports also, so we're going to do that. Comment below, help the algorithm. Let me know anything you disagree with or agree with on this one. So this is a lot different, I'll tell you that, this Eastern Conference, but we'll get into it. In this video, we're going to talk the Eastern Conference power rankings to start out. Then we're going to talk a couple most improved / sleeper teams in the Eastern Conference, give our best future bets, and then because we did not do it in the Western Conference, we will finish it off with what everybody wants to hear from everybody else. Our Final Four and our finals prediction and our champion for the 2023-24 season. That's right, baby. I'm ready. Let's have a great NBA season. We won about 15 units last year in our first year on the podcast with basketball. Hopefully we can even improve on that. But I'm excited just to talk basketball and just to get into this with everybody else too. So Ryan, what's going on, man?
Not much. Just can't wait to talk the Eastern Conference. Ah, man, as you're gonna see, this, like you said, is much different than the West. They need to like combine all the teams into one and go from there because the East versus West type of stuff. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with it.
I agree. Yeah, it's very top heavy, but we'll get into that. But before we start, just like we did in the Western Conference, I'm going to ask you, what are you most excited to see in the Eastern Conference?
I'm most excited to see what happens with Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can barely pronounce his name. I tried my best there. The pick and roll, how are teams going to stop it, and all of that stuff, and just like how well are they going to be able to gel together right away? And then the other one would be James Harden and the 76ers. Like, what is going on with that drama? Is he staying? Is he going? What can they trade for him? Who's going to want to trade to get him? Because this is what his third team that he's trying to get a trade out of. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. If I was a GM, I wouldn't try and get him. He's going to be there for what, half a year, be out of shape for half of it, and stuck in the playoffs? No thanks. Not who I want.
Ooh, baby, shots fired already. I like it. If you think about that Thunder team when they had it back then, Kyrie, no wait, it wasn't Kyrie, Russell, Harden, and Durant,
And Ibaka, yeah,
they've all had they've all had some drama. Drama.
yeah.
Drama is what they are. I thought of Kyrie because I was talking drama because he is the king of drama. There's two things for me that I'm most excited to see. One is how is Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis going to fit into the Celtics team? Because I got some high hopes for them. We'll get into that later, but I think Drew Holiday is a great player. And the other one, something that nobody wants to probably even hear or talk about, I want to see which of these young teams can step up in the Eastern Conference. We got teams like the Magic, the Pacers, the Pistons. It goes on and on and on. The Pistons are like the youngest team in NBA history. I don't know, but it seems like it. But I'm just curious to see which one of these young teams can take the next step because we got some really crappy teams in this conference. I'm not gonna lie. But that's what I got. Ryan, you got anything else? You ready to do some power rankings?
I'm ready to get in these power rankings.
All right, let's do it. Bring it up. Here we go. Number one. And this is a joint power rankings between me and Ryan, and we both had this team at number one, so there was no argument here. The Boston Celtics. I hate rooting for Boston teams. I am doing this as unbiased as I can. The huge additions, like we just talked about, Porzingis and Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is one of the best two-way guards in the NBA. And Holiday is an upgrade over Marcus Smart. Don't get that confused. He absolutely is. And Porzingis gives them another scorer, rebounder. You now have a core four. Core four, you like that? Porzingis, Holiday, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. Are you kidding me? That's freaking good, guys. That's unbelievable. As long as they can gel. They lost Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, and Robert Williams. Obviously, that hurts, but if you just take that for what it is, would you get rid of Smart, Williams, Brogdon, and Williams again for those guys?
Oh
Yeah, no,
yes,
no question about it. Yeah,
yeah.
not even a question, right? So obviously they lost some depth, but I just love their team in general. I mean, you still got Derek White, Al Horford. You got some other players. It's not like they have zero depth. Obviously, they did lose some depth. They've been so close to winning the title 2 years in a row. Could this possibly be the year that they get it done? Ryan, any thoughts on this Celtics team, real quick?
Oh, the upgrade at point guard with Holiday is just incredible. They still get the great defensive player that they were getting out of Marcus Smart. Holiday can hit open 3 pointers. He can take over some of the ball handling duty. That way, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't have to do that the entire time. Jaylen Brown can have some turnover issues here and there. He can settle the offense down, run an offense, do those things, and still play that incredible defense. So just a great pickup. Just a great move. And I hate saying it because I'm a huge Bucks fan. I'm a huge Giannis fan. I'm a huge Dame fan. And here we are with the Celtics with number one.
That's very true. You are correct on all that. We're going to talk a little bit about that right here, and it might be a hot take. Number 2, the Milwaukee Bucks. Last year, we are all over them. We like this team, but we're a little more skeptical, me and Ryan, about this team. Doesn't mean we don't think they're absolutely just awesome still, but we're a little skeptical compared to what other people are doing. Are we sure that Damian Lillard is that much of an upgrade over Drew Holiday? Me and Ryan were talking about this. Ryan kind of talked me into some of this too, but Drew Holiday's been a more efficient three-ball shooter in the last 3 years. We're talking 38.4%, 41.1, 39.2 in the last 3 years, with higher field goal percentages too. Dame last 3 years, 39.1, 32.4, 39.1. It's not like we're getting a much better three-ball shooter. Dame has only played 29 and 58 games the last 2 seasons. You are getting a less durable player who is shooting about the same percentage-wise. Now, listen, I understand that Dame can go off and Drew Holiday cannot. Dame is special. I am not sitting here saying he's not. But then you go to the defensive side, and Dame doesn't like that side of the ball. It's just not fun for him. And Drew Holiday absolutely loves it. Maybe the best perimeter defender in the NBA, one of the best two-way guards there is. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think it's that much of a difference. Ryan, agree? Disagree?
Oh, I totally agree. I've been trying to tell my friends this and everything. Like, the upgrade is there, but is it that much of an upgrade when then Holiday goes to the team like the Celtics, where that is a huge upgrade for them, and it just Dame's not. The injury risk is there. He's getting older. The explosiveness isn't quite there. I guess the only really scary point is if you let Dame get hot, he can go off for 50 or 60 where Holiday can't, like you were talking about. Um, so the upgrade is not enough for losing bench and just getting a guy that shoots the 3 pointer about the same. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's such a sniper. He's such a sniper." So was Holiday. Like, what? It's not that big of an upgrade.
Agree. Now, like I said, Dame can get hot. He can score 50. Drew Holiday doesn't score 50. But if you just even out over the whole season, it's really not that difference because, yes, Dame is a better scorer, but Drew Holiday is so much better, light years ahead on the defensive side of the ball. So I don't know, man. This is it's kind of interesting. They lost Grayson Allen, which does hurt a little bit. And here's the other thing: they have a new head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Do new head coaches just absolutely dominate all the time? Sometimes they do, but not all the time. Adrian Griffin. So how quick can they get going? Can Chris Middleton stay healthy? We're talking Dame and Chris Middleton in their mid-30s who have struggled with injuries the last few years. Can they stay healthy also? Because if you lose one of those 3 guys, you're kind of in trouble. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Giannis is the man. We know all about Giannis, but that's the Bucks.
I think with this with Damian Lillard, he's going to be able to control the ball a little bit more. So I think this takes some pressure off Giannis on the offensive end, so Giannis can do more things throughout the entire game, defensively, rebound, pass, and do those things. So I can see how it can help there, and it can maybe open up the lane a little bit better for Giannis to do his thing by the rim. But I don't know about enough.
No, I agree, but I'll one up you. I think the addition of Drew Holiday immensely affects the Celtics positively because Jason Tatum was
Mm-hmm.
handling the ball too much, and he turns the ball over a lot sometimes. Him and Jaylen Brown. So I think he's going to be a huge upgrade for them. A la like Chris Paul for the Warriors. You know, teams that kind of play sloppy and can turn the ball over a lot. Now you have that steady hand at point guard. So I agree with what you're saying, but I think it helps the Celtics even more. But
Yep.
anyways, we had to talk a lot about those teams, obviously. Number 3, Cleveland Cavaliers. I was all over them last year, and they failed me in the first round of the playoffs to Ryan's team. But they had an excellent season. In their first year with Donovan Mitchell, they just got beat by the Knicks. They do struggle in the half-court offense. That's a given. I mean, they got 2 small guards and 2 bigs. It's a tough combo nowadays. You know, I heard rumors they might trade Jared Allen. Maybe it's not a bad idea. I think Evan Mobley needs to get a consistent jump shot or shooting outside or somewhere because he needs to spread the court. Because if you got 2 big men that can't shoot deep, I don't know, man. It kind of clogs those lanes for the Darius Garlands, for the Donovan Mitchells of the world. But they did add what they needed. Niang, Max Strus, Ty Jerome, 3 shooters that I think will really help them stretch the floor. Is it enough? We'll see, because we know they're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. I think Donovan Mitchell's only going to improve. It's his second year now with this new team, so I'm still high on the Cavs. I know Ryan. We kind of went back and forth on this. I think Ryan had just a little bit over the Knicks over the Cavs in this one. And we'll go to the Knicks real quick before I kick it to Ryan. But no big changes. I mean, they still got the whole University of Villanova roster. No, I'm just joking. But no, I'm not really, actually. Jalen Brunson, R.J. Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. Now, when they were all healthy together, if you looked at how they played, it was pretty impressive. They weren't all healthy at all the time. Then you got Emmanuel quickly also off the bench, I believe he'll be. Quickly and Grimes are two wild cards because those guys I think are going to improve. They showed some glimpses last year when there was injuries that they can play. So I like this team as long as Thibodeau doesn't run them into the ground. I don't mind this at all. So I think they have another solid year. I don't know if they're a championship contender exactly yet, but I think they have another solid year. Any quick thoughts, Ryan, on the Cavs or Knicks or anything?
Yeah, the Cavs, I think you talked me into liking them more than I did last year, and I think putting them 3 over the 4 of the Knicks was actually the better call. I'm surprised on how well those two small guards play defense for the Cavs and just everything that they can do. The Knicks, they really messed up this offseason in not getting another ball handler, shot creator type guy to go with Brunson. They really needed that, I really believe. And they just didn't do that to really make a deep push in the playoffs. I think they're still going to be a solid team easily in the playoffs, going to do those things, but they needed another score. Randall and RJ Barrett are not enough. Too much, Randall's jacking up threes when he doesn't need to be, and trying to post up, and he's kind of too small. So I like it 3 and 4 like that.
Yeah, no, what a betting like awesomeness or betting nightmare sometimes. I remember there was games where I had Jalen Brunson over points and Randall shoots 10 threes in the first quarter, or I have Randall and Jalen Brunson goes off. I mean, one of those guys is shooting a crap ton. I think they need to be more balanced. Get Quentin Grimes involved. Mitchell Robinson's not a guy you just post up and have a score all the time, but RJ Barrett needs to take the next step up. He needs to be more consistent. He has some really terrible games. He just has not lived up to the hype exactly. But yeah, those are the 4 and 5. We're gonna go a little quicker here, guys, because I think when it gets 5 and on, it absolutely freaking blows. And I'm talking the Miami Heat, and we're gonna talk about them later, so I won't get too much into it. They had a terrible offseason. They lost players. Jimmy Butler's hairdo is friggin' awful. Other than that, Ryan, am I missing anything else about the Heat?
Oh man, I think they were trying to wait it out and get a better deal for Dame and whatnot, and it didn't work out, and it bit him in the butt. Because now what are they going to do? They have nothing. I don't think Jimmy Butler's happy. A pissed off Jimmy Butler is not a good way to go into the season. And honestly, they barely made the playoffs. They had to win 2 games in the play-in game to get into the playoffs. Then they had an incredible run, so it's not like they were super special. And then they did nothing, and then lost guys. Gabe Vincent, Struce, like you said, going to Cavs. Just terrible, terrible
Yeah,
offseason.
I agree. People are forgetting this. They had a magical run in the playoffs, but man, they're just not a great regular season team though. Next one, Philadelphia 76ers. We're going to talk about this team, I think, a lot, so I'm not even going to get into it. They're a mess. And me and Ryan actually agree on a lot in this Eastern Conference, and this is one of them. And we don't believe in them, if you're wondering. Next one, let's just throw all these teams in a hat and see what shakes out. The Brooklyn Nets, cool young team. A lot of 3-and-D guys. Mikal Bridges, they did all the trades. Fun to watch. Nicholas Claxton, good young player. They got some pieces, but I mean, those are pieces that go with a star.
Yes.
Those aren't stars, in my opinion. But Mikal Bridges is the favorite to win Most Improved Player right now. Ryan, stop me if you ever need me to, but I'm going to just keep moving along with
Mm-hmm.
these teams because, I mean, we're talking about teams that are all going to finish 500 or lower in the Eastern Conference, to be honest. Next one, Indiana Pacers. I will talk more about them a little more positively than I've been talking about some of these teams. But yeah, they added Bruce Brown. That's all I'll say. They got some other pieces. Number 9, the Atlanta Hawks. I hate this team. I'm going to be honest. I think DeJounte Murray is not being used the right way on this team. I think Trae Young is overrated. I know some people that love Trae Young, and they're not going to like that, but I think he's overrated. He's a streaky shooter, plays no D, a tiny little guy. Yes, he can take over the game scoring sometimes, but he's a decent passer, obviously, but I don't know. I think he's overrated. Ryan, am I wrong on that?
No,
Or
people will think he's Steph Curry, and Steph Curry is special and has just Steph Curry does things that Trey Brown will never be able to do. Steph Curry doesn't just shoot long threes and hit them. He drives to the lane, passes, and does those things so much better than Trey Young, and it's not even close.
well, Steph Trey Brown is I don't know who that is, but he means
Oh,
Trey Young.
yeah.
Steph Curry Steph Curry's the best off-ball guy in the league too. He knows how to get open off screens. I mean, guys, he's got people hounding him every play, and he's still a superstar. It's insane.
Yeah.
Let's move on to another team that I might hate the most in the entire conference, the Chicago Bulls. What the hell are you doing? Why do you still have the same team as last year? Like, like the GM goes to bed at night saying, "Yep, solid. Yep, I think we should run this back. This is good stuff." DeRozan and Levine are not the combo you want, guys. This is not a team with Vucevic. This isn't the team that's going to do anything. They're going to be around 500 again. They're not going to do anything. You can make fun of me all you want if they all of a sudden are like a 3 seed in this year, but I am pretty much putting my life on it that they are still going to be the same team they always are. I am shocked that they haven't done anything, but I think there's a chance DeRozan or Levine or both get traded by the trade deadline when they are out of it. All right, that's my little rant on the Chicago Bulls. Orlando Magic. Now we get into the young teams. They are slowly on the rise. Boncaro, Franz Wagner. Then they got other rookies like Jed Howard, Anthony Black. Can they make a difference? They're all really young. Can Boncaro take the next step? Markelle Fultz, all that kind of stuff. So, we'll see. They're an exciting young team. I don't know if they're quite ready, but they're getting there. So, next one, Toronto Raptors hate this team too. God, the Eastern Conference sucks, guys. I'm not going to lie. They are close to tearing this one up too. They lost Van Vliet. They got no ball handlers. They got Dennis Schroeder, Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Siakam, and Jakob Pertl. Come on, guys. We're not talking much here. There's a chance they tear it up. They're blah. Another average team. The Detroit Pistons. Now, this is another young team that could take a step forward, but they are really young, like super young. This will all depend on the health of their number one guy, Cade Cunningham, the point guard. They got Asar Thompson. I think that's how you pronounce it. 5th overall pick in the draft last year, averaged 13.5 points and 10 rebounds per game in the summer league. They said it's his starting position to lose. They also have Jaden Ivey on the wing. He's a scorer. Obviously, that's his main thing. But he had an up-and-down rookie season. He does have the very, very savvy ability to score the ball, though, when he is consistent. And I think he will get better also. But here's 4 of their top 5 players, guys. They're 22 years old, 21 years old, 20, and 19. That's brutal. We're talking Cunningham, Ivy, Thompson, and Jalen Duran, the big guy. So we'll see. They're not ready yet, but they got some pieces for the future. That's for sure. And then the Charlotte Hornets. No more Michael Jordan. Can LaMelo Ball ever stay healthy? Whatever happened to these Ball brothers, Ryan? Can they stay healthy?
Nope, they
Where's
can't.
Lonzo? Cheese and rice. Is he playing for the Bulls this year?
I have not
I don't even remember.
really heard. Yeah, no.
Okay. Well, anyways, LaMelo just needs to stay healthy, but this team actually became a sneaky, decent defensive team when they put Mark Williams in at the center position. I think that could improve this year, but Gordon Hayward and P.J. Washington don't do a lot for me. So LaMelo Ball and, the other rookie, but I don't know. This team, Brandon Miller, is he going to be that great already? Maybe, but, he was the top draft pick. We'll see. And then the Washington Wizards, the 15th, the final seed. They're a whole new team. Tyus Jones at point guard, Jordan Poole at shooting guard, and Kuzma and not much else. Yuck. Like, absolute yuckville, USA right there. I will say this. I am excited for Tyus Jones because we saw what he did in the Grizzlies when John Morant went down. And we bet his over assist props, and we won some of those. Let's see where those assist props start out this year because he is a good assist man when he plays big minutes, and he's going to be the main man on this team. Can his teammates make shots? I don't know. But we're going to find out. I know Jordan Poole will shoot them. That's no question. Poole might score a lot of points based on volume alone. So that's just something to think about. But that's it. That's the Eastern Conference power rankings. I'm going to be honest, guys. It just sucks. You got the top-heavy teams, the 2 elite teams, and then the next tier of a few teams that are, good, like the Knicks, Cavs, if you believe in the Heat, which I don't really. And then a bunch of stuff. Any other thoughts, Ryan, before we end the power rankings?
I think you nailed it. It is just a bunch of stuff. Like, what are they going to do? A few of those bad teams are getting the playoffs, and it's disappointing.
No, more than a few. But I will say, there is some positives in regards to, like, 1 or 2 of those teams will step up. And which ones will it be? You know what I mean? It'll be exciting to see what it is. I have a sleeper team that I'm ready to talk about. But, yeah, that's what we got. That's the power rankings for the Eastern Conference. And now let's talk some sleeper teams. Okay, I gave you 2 sleeper teams in the Western Conference, but I only got 1, guys. There's a lot of teams that might be sleeping this year in the Eastern Conference, but I got one that I am kind of excited about, and that is the Indiana Pacers. That's right. They finished 35-47 last year, and it starts with the main man, Tyrese Halliburton, who is an absolute assist machine, and he got paid a lot of money. Now, he only played 56 games last year, so if he plays a full season or more like 70, 75 games, that could go a long way alone on improving this record, because when he's not in there, it's crazy, guys. Their offense is like a well-oiled machine when he's in, and when he is out, it is ugly. So they added the versatile player Bruce Brown from the champion Denver Nuggets, as well as Obi Toppin. And then they drafted forward Jerace, I think that's how you say it, Jerace Walker, because they need to fill a power forward need big time. But Benedict Mathurin is the guy. He was the rookie last year. He averaged 17 points a game in his rookie season. He finished fourth in the Rookie of the Year voting, I believe. He attacks the rim. If you watch this guy play, he attacks the rim like no other. So if he keeps improving, including his shooting stroke, because that would really make him a well-rounded player, along with Tyrese Halliburton, and then you talking Bruce Brown now, Obi Toppin maybe, which he's not great, but he's a player, and then Miles Turner down low. I'm kind of excited about this team to see where it goes. I think they have a chance to be playing for that play-in tourney to get into the playoffs. The Eastern Conference is so wide open. It's unbelievable. Like anybody, if they can have a hot stretch of basketball, that can be enough to get them in. Finish around 500, you're definitely in the play-in tournament, that's for sure. So the Pacers, I'm going to say, is my most improved sleeper team in the Eastern Conference. Ryan, I know you gave one out in the Western Conference. You don't have a ton that you love here, and you're not one to just make up a team just to say something. So, but is there any young team or any team that you're just leaning towards and excited to talk about?
Yeah, I would lean towards the Orlando Magic with Boncaro, Wagner, Cole Anthony, Markel Fultz. I mean, there's going to be some teams that missed the playoffs that were in the playoffs last year, so this gives the Magic the opportunity to get in the playoffs, taste what playoff basketball is about, and kind of get them going in the right direction moving forward. And that's what a young team and Boncaro needs. Boncaro, his body type, similar, not exactly like LeBron James, but kind of the same type of playing style as far as driving, getting to the hoop, passing, being a playmaker, doing all those things. I feel like that's not the trend, but what you need in basketball nowadays is a small forward, 6'8" type of guy that's athletic and can do basically everything, and then kind of surround him with shooters. And I feel like that's where this team's leaning. So I think that's a good thing that they got going. And then if they can taste that playoff atmosphere and just see what that's like and get in there right now early while this team's still young and kind of go, okay, let's really dig deep and get in. So my lean, nothing like super like, oh my gosh, they're sleeping, they're gonna make a huge run and be amazing, anything like that. My lean would be the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, I like it. He's one of those hybrid players that just does it all. He kind of hit a rookie wall a little bit last year for a while, but second year you're less likely because you know what to expect now. So, but that's what we got for sleeper teams. Not a ton in the Eastern Conference, but before we get into our finals prediction, our conference finals prediction, because that's what we're going to end with. That's the big bang. We're going to let you guys know who the champion is. Let's talk our best future bets. All right, me and Ryan each have two future bets for the Eastern Conference that we absolutely love. Ryan, I'll kick it to you. What do you got?
Yeah, my first one is going to be the 76ers under 49.5 wins this season at minus 120. New head coach, don't have any idea what's going on with James Harden. Is he going to be traded? Is he not going to be traded? And everybody thinks, oh, if a trade happens, you're instantly going to be better. No, that very seldom works in the NBA. I think it happened like one time with Kawhi Leonard, and the Raptors won the finals that year. But other than that, not much. Nick Nurse, like I said, he's a good coach. Hasn't coached in a little bit. But players don't just respond right away. It takes a while to get in a rhythm, get in a feel. And then Joel Embiid, I feel like he won what he's been striving for already with the MVP last year. So is he going to put forth the same effort that he's been putting forth, that he put forth last year that got this team really good? So the James Harden thing is the big one. There's going to be a few teams that I think can get a few extra wins, like the Cavs and the Knicks. And then when the 76ers go and play the Western Conference, oh man, they're going to have a lot of L's right there. So I just don't see how they're going to get over 49.5 wins. So I'm taking the under at minus 120. What are your thoughts, Steven?
No, I like it. It's going to lead right into my first bet because me and Ryan didn't even know we had these bets, but we both were fading the 76ers in different ways, and Ryan actually liked this bet too. We could have given it out either way, honestly. But here we go, my first bet, and we're going to talk more about it. The exact finish in the Atlantic Division. Celtics to finish first and the Knicks to finish second at plus 390. That's all I need is those top two teams. Let's talk about it real quick. Celtics in first place, it's kind of a duh, right? I mean, come on. They're the best. They're loaded. Added Drew Holiday, all these guys, great defensive additions, rebounding help, all that kind of stuff. Celtics should finish first, and it shouldn't even be that close. Now, here's where it gets tricky. The Knicks second place. So the biggest obstacle in this bet is that the Knicks have to beat the 76ers. That's right. That's all they got to do is finish better than the Sixers. You just heard some things from Ryan. Let me just talk to you about the 76ers. Yes, they went 54-28 last season. Congratulations. But the over-under wins is like 49.5. I think I saw it at 47.5 on one book too. There's a reason for that, guys. James Harden, 1 foot out the door. He's ready to go, as he mentioned. Is Joel Embiid going to be okay? Is he going to be angry when Harden gets traded for a bunch of young guys and now they're rebuilding a little bit again, or is he going to ask for a trade? Like, the whole thing could blow up. Tyrese Maxey, good young player, kind of out of control sometimes, but he's fun to watch. He can really score it. When Embiid is out, they suck. I mean, they just struggle. Now, I will say getting rid of Doc Rivers was a huge addition by subtraction for the Philadelphia 76ers. He needed to go. He's overrated. But, like he said, is Embiid going to be as driven? This team just has too many question marks. And it's just, even if Harden's playing, if he gets hurt, he's not going to be rushing back. He doesn't want to play for this team, this GM, or anything like that. So, I think they finished under the wins too, like Ryan said, and that means I think the Knicks can finish over them. They added Kelly Oubre, which is a good pickup, but that's not anything that's going to move the needle a lot to me, especially if Harden's not playing. So, that's why I like. The Nets are in the division too, but we don't think the Nets are going to be there. The Knicks, we talked about a little bit. Same team, so same good chemistry. Mitch Robb, Randall, Quentin Grimes, we talked about all those guys. They won 47 games last year, and I don't even think if they just stayed the same, I don't think the 76ers reach 47 wins this year, to be honest with you. We may be crazy. We may be wrong. I feel like there's a song in there. I may be crazy. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm expecting the Knicks to get near 50 wins, to be honest with you, and I think that's going to be more than the Sixers, which means that's a plus 390 winner. So we just have two different ways to fade the 76ers is really what this is all about. Obviously, we need the Knicks to play well as well. That's interesting. But that's what I got. Plus 390. Sign me up for the Knicks over the 76ers. That's really what it is. So, Ryan, I already know you probably like this bet.
Yep, I think you absolutely nailed it. Like he was saying, I kind of had it already, but we decided that he was going to do that when I was going to do 76ers, so it worked out perfect. My next bet is going to be a very long shot. Giannis Antetokounmpo. I wouldn't say long shot. I still believe in it, but the odds are a long shot. Giannis Antetokounmpo to win Defensive Player of the Year at plus 750. Wow, that's a big one. The reason, kind of already mentioned it, Lillard is going to take over a lot more of the offensive capabilities, so Giannis is going to be able to do more things that he's done in the past, such as play defense, grab rebounds, block shots, change shots at the rim, steals, all those things. One thing, he's already won it 1 year, and it wasn't that long ago. 2020, he won Defense Player of the Year. In 2022, 2021, 2020, and 2019, he was defensive first team as well. So it's not like he doesn't play defense. This is a very driven guy, plays a bunch of defense. He still has that in his game. Now he can just do it more so. I believe he plays hard. He's going to hit the 65 games that you have to play. Not all superstars do that. Jaren Jackson, he was the Defensive Player of the Year last year. He didn't hit that, so there's that choice for Jaren Jackson not getting it. So yeah, I really like the odds and the value at it alone. Really excites me for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can't say his last name for plus 750.
I don't know why you keep saying the whole name, to be honest with you. The Greek freak, Giannis, whatever you want to say, but I cannot wait, and I mean this seriously, I cannot wait to root on Giannis to play good defense all year. Oh my God, is that an exciting bet? Anyways, I like it. I mean, why not? Plus 750. Giannis has already done it. He's right up there at the top every year, so we'll see. We will see. All right, let's get to a bet that has nothing to do with defense. Well, actually, it does, because this team doesn't play offense. The Miami Heat, under 45.5 wins at minus 110. I hate future bets that are minus 110, minus 120, but I got to do this, guys. This is just too good to pass up. They lost Max Strus and Gabe Vincent. We saw in the playoff run, those two players were helpful to them. This team has a very slim margin for error. That's why they sucked in the regular season. Then they just turned it on thanks to Jimmy Butler and some role players stepping up out of nowhere. But they've been under this win total in 2 of the last 3 seasons. This is not a team that just blows this out of the water or anything like that. I just don't like the team at all. I think this is their year where they just drop back into reality, finish in the play-in tourney or right at the end of the playoffs and have an early exit. They just seem to struggle in the regular season. And so we put them 5 in the power rankings, but honestly, 5, 6, 7, 8, like we talked about, could have went anyway, and I wouldn't be shocked if they finish 8. I think they were right around 8 last year, so something like that. But anyways, Miami Heat under 45.5 wins. I love it. I think they're closer to about 40 wins this year. So that is my second best bet. And those are the 4 future bets that we have. And before we get into the bets recap, I want to talk some conference finals predictions and some finals predictions because who doesn't want this? We didn't want to give it out in the Western Conference video. We are now going to give it out for both sides right now. Ryan, you want to start or you want me to start to talk about the conference teams?
I can start. I have in the East, I have the Celtics against the Cavs. I already mentioned a little bit when a big trade happens for a superstar, they don't just go to the playoffs right away, or not the playoffs, the championship game, win championships and things like that. So the Damian and Giannis thing, I'm not totally sold on it. Dame can get hurt in the playoffs, then it's Middleton and Giannis, and they got to do their thing. But the Cavs, what they showed me last year, with the defense, Mitchell being able to create shots, Garland being able to create shots. I think Mobley's going to take a step up. I think the Cavs can play the Boston Celtics for that one right there. And then in the West, you want me to talk about the West right now?
Yeah, just conference finals. Yeah, give me the 2.
Okay. I got the Lakers, which I hate even mentioning or saying, but their team is just too deep. LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It really just comes down to health in the playoffs with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I think they're there in the Western Conference. And then they're going to be playing the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. I just hoping that they stay healthy. I think there's just too many other variables in the West for all the other teams that I wasn't quite sold on. So I went with one of the best players in Kevin Durant and just hoping that he stays healthy. They play the Lakers.
Okay. All right. Here we go. That's what he's got. Eastern Conference is chalky chalk chalk for me. Western Conference is not. I got Celtics, Bucks. It is what it is, guys. I mean, these two are the elite of the elite. It seems kind of easy. There was actually a bet to pick Celtics versus Bucks exact to be in the conference finals at plus, I don't even remember, 300 maybe, something like that. But I know it's hard to just have the top 2 teams go. But, guys, this year we're talking, I mean, Dame and Giannis, and it's obvious, guys. I know I talked about the Bucks, how they might not be as good as people say, but they're still one of the top 2 teams. And the Celtics are just absolutely loaded. We're just going to assume healthy all the way around right now because that's all we can do. So give me the Celtics and Bucks. And by the way, people would love to see that matchup, that's for sure. Western Conference. You know, this sucks that I'm doing this, but I just am. One of them doesn't suck. It's all California, guys. The Golden State Warriors versus the Los Angeles Lakers. I think we get a playoff rematch. The Nuggets don't make it, I think, because they just won the finals. That's all I got for you, honestly. They lost Bruce Brown, but it's hard, guys. Nikola Jokic, he's not interested in winning it again. It really cut into his offseason. And he's just not interested in playing into June again, it doesn't sound like. But Warriors and Lakers, guys, we already talked about it in the other video. Chris Paul, he could have make a big difference on this team, really cut down the turnovers and the sloppy play, really find shooters that are open. And then, some guys that are not talking about, Saric for this team, big man, he's a big man who can be on the court and hit threes. If you can spread the court, they haven't had that very often. Like, they've had Draymond Green, Kevon Looney. They've had guys that just don't spread the court. If you have Sarge come out and start knocking down threes, and now all of a sudden all 5 guys around the perimeter opens up the lane, this could really be a different type of offense that we haven't even seen yet. And you still got Steph Curry, who's the man. Klay Thompson, another year removed from that huge injury. So I know they're getting older, but I don't see much aging in them. And then Lakers, we already talked about it, super deep team. I mean, it's just unbelievable. They can lose one of their superstars and still hold down the fort. So I think they're a really good team. They're battle tested, ready to go. Give me the Warriors and the Lakers. Ryan, who is in the finals and who is winning the title?
I got the Celtics and the Lakers. I hate saying both these 2 teams. It's pretty cool, the Magic Bird type of thing. And then there was Kobe and Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett and those things. And those just epic matchups. But I cannot stand LeBron James and the Lakers. But like we've talked about in the previous video and this video somewhat, they're too deep. You got too many weapons, too many good acquisitions. LeBron James, Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis is playing and is healthy and playing like like a superstar he can be, he's one of like the top 5 best players in the NBA to go along with LeBron James at like number 10. Maybe LeBron James dips into the fountain of youth a little bit and playoff basketball. He's right there, top 1 through 5. So they just got 2 absolute studs. And then the Celtics, huge pickups. Holiday we talked about. Porzingis, I think that just helps spread out the court. He can hit 3 balls. He can grab rebounds, plays defense near the rim, and Tatum and Brown. have somebody that can hold on to the ball for him. No, not a whole bunch of turnovers. And Tatum and Brown can absolutely go off. So I just see both of those teams going to the finals. Do you want the winner right now or just in a little bit?
Give me the winner.
And the winner's going to be the Boston Celtics. I wish I could be sitting here saying the Milwaukee Bucks with Damian Lillard and Giannis. I just the holiday pickup was massive, I believe, and just such an upgrade over Marcus Smart that their Boston Celtics will be winning the championship this year.
All right, guys, I'm telling you, we don't give picks on teams that we love. We give picks on what we think is actually going to happen. Now, 2 months into the season, these could all look like hell, to be honest with you. Like, there could be injuries, anything could happen. Here we go. My finals prediction is the Boston Celtics will take care of the Bucks. It will not be easy, but I think they win it. And the Golden State Warriors beat the Lakers, get their revenge on them. Here's what we got to talk about with the Warriors real quick. They were one of the worst teams on the road in the history of basketball last year. They got Chris Paul. They got a shooter that can spread the court. It's hard to imagine they do the same thing. I mean, if they just improve a little bit on the road, I mean, they're going to be fine. They're one of the best home teams in the NBA. Even when they had guys down like Steph Curry, they still beat good teams at home because that's a great home court advantage. So, anyways, I think the Warriors beat the Lakers. It's going to be a great matchup. So I got a Celtics-Warriors matchup in the finals. I love me some Steph Curry, one of my favorite players to ever play in the NBA, and I think he takes second place, and the Celtics win the title. It makes me sick to say that, honestly. If the Warriors want to win it and prove me wrong, I'm fine with it, by the way. Just go win it. I'm not rooting for the Celtics, but I think the Celtics are loaded, and I think the Celtics add another piece by the trade deadline, too. I think, losing Robert Williams did not help. I think they're going to add another piece for depth down low or something like that. And I think it's going to help. I think you're going to see a lot of these teams that we just mentioned add some pieces also. Maybe not the Lakers because they got a pretty deep team right now, but that's going to be interesting. Trade deadline is going to be exciting, but it looks like this year we both have the Celtics winning the title. Last year I did say I liked the Nuggets to win the title, and I think I had the Bucks as two of my teams. It didn't work out. Ryan, who did you have? I don't exactly remember now.
I don't remember who I had, honestly. I do remember you talking about the Nuggets. I do remember I mentioned the Nuggets and home court advantage, and I think that's why they're going to struggle a little bit this year in the playoffs, is because they're not going to have the home court advantage like they did last year.
Yeah, that's true. And I know you liked the Knicks last year, and I was down on them. So you
Mm-hmm.
proved me wrong on that, and I was high on the Cavs, and your team beat mine in the first round. So congratulations. Whatever. Anyways, that's what we got, guys. You got anything else to add, Ryan, before we check out the bets recap? That was fun.
No, I don't think I do.
All right, there we go. The Celtics win the title, according to me and Ryan. Celtics versus Warriors, and the Celtics versus the Lakers for Ryan. Holy cow! By the way, real quick, if you haven't seen the show Showtime on what is it? Amazon Prime? I don't remember. Showtime about Magic Johnson and the Celtics and that rivalry with the Lakers. There's 2 seasons out. It's a good one, guys. It really tells. It's not all true stories and everything. It's filmed a little differently, but it tells the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and the Celtics Lakers hate for each other back then, which was legit. It just reminded me because Ryan picked one of the biggest rivalries in sports, Celtics Lakers. So, anyways, that's all we got. Let's check out the bets recap. All right, there it is, guys. We each got 2 future bets for the Eastern Conference. I got the exact finish in the Atlantic Division, Boston to finish first, and the New York Knickerbockers to finish second at plus 310. I think I said plus 390 in the video, by the way. I don't know what I was talking about, to be honest. It is plus 310 on DraftKings. And then the Miami Heat under 45.5 wins at minus 110. And then Ryan, 76ers under 49.5 wins. Look at all these unders. Minus 120. And then he has Giannis to win Defensive Player of the Year at plus 750. There it is, guys. That's what we got. That is the Eastern Conference. That was a ton of fun. Go check out the Western Conference video if you just want to hear basketball, hear some bets. It's a lot of fun. So October 24th, that's right, baby. We are getting very, very close to the tip-off for the NBA season. So that's what we got. Leave a comment below who you think's winning the title, what bets you have, anything else you want to say. I love to talk basketball. It'd be a lot of fun. So Ryan, thanks for joining us. Was that a lot of fun, or what? You ready to go for
Oh, that was a
basketball?
blast. I can't wait. And honestly, I can't believe October 24th. Man, I feel like we just ended bets and finals and all those, and me getting pied in the face. I definitely have to redeem myself for that. That was embarrassing.
Did we
So,
show
yeah.
that? Did we even show that?
Show it? No, we ain't showing that again. Maybe some other like blooper video or something like that. We ain't showing it for a minute.
Yeah, no. He had the Heat over the Nuggets. I had the Nuggets over the Heat. I pied him in the face, but I don't know if we showed the video on any NBA video. So maybe we'll do that on opening day of the NBA season for our bets. That sounds like a great idea. Thanks, Ryan, for bringing that up.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for the support. Hit that like button. Appreciate everything, and we'll talk to you soon.